Good morning guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome, all subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please do press that like button, please do subscribe. Thank you for your support. It's Friday morning. I feel really warm still. The temperature in my flat is 23.5 degrees, so it's gone down a degree. But it still feels hot to me. I'm here in my flat in Rochester with my lovely Chihuahua Max. My cat that went missing for 3 weeks is doing really well. She's eating everything in sight, which is good because she's putting on weight. She's got, I didn't think she'd make it, but she's doing well. So a lovely Friday morning. Hope everyone's going to have a good, lovely weekend. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:39 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Friday the 15th of September.
And Alexa, what's the weather like?
Currently, in Rochester it's 13 degrees Celsius with partly sunny skies. Today, you can expect mostly sunny weather, with a high of 25 degrees and a low of 13 degrees.
So again, it starts off relatively cool and it's going to reach a high of 25 degrees, which is still quite hot for September. I feel hot, I feel warm. It's been going on like this for ages now. You just get used to it. Just made myself a cup of coffee. Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include German basketball player / point guard Oklahoma City Thunder Dennis Schroeder, British actor, screenwriter and producer Tom Hardy, younger son of Prince Charles, Prince of Wales and Diana, Princess of Wales Prince Harry, American actor and film director Tommy Lee Jones, and American film director, screenwriter, and producer Oliver Stone.
Right, and for anybody who has a birthday today, happy birthday. Alexa, can you sing happy birthday?
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. 3 cheers. Hip hip hooray. Hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hooray.
So guys, it's another day. And just going to show you what I do every day. I do this every day. I water my lovely plants. Half of them have come from Mr. Flower, which is in Rochester High Street. So I just want to show you. I grew these ones here. I grew these ones, and we've got some wildflowers here which I don't know what they are, but they've grown from seed as well. That's a plant from Mr. Flower, that's come from Morrison's. All the plants I've got from Mr. Flower, they're lovely. That one's lasted ages. So they're my plants. That's what it looks from outside. Right, let's go. So that's what I do every morning. My lovely plants. I feel like one of the Sims. You know the Sims? Now, I have a very large cactus, well, wide cactus, and I spray this cactus, because cactus, or cacti, don't need a lot of water, do they? So I spray, so every morning I just give the cactus a spray with my little bottle. too much. Then I've got this lovely plant here that I got from Morrison's, and I give this a spray as well. This one, it was a peace lily or something like that. And then just lightly spray it with water. So this is what I do every morning. I must say I've got up this morning feeling a bit lethargic. Like I don't want to do anything, but I've made myself get up. It's something to do with the weather, I think. It's so hot. Last night I was watching just videos where people walking through London in the rain. I thought that might make me feel cooler for some reason, and watching people walking around in London in the rain, it's quite soothing as well, especially if you are trying to get ready to go to bed and you can't go to sleep. I found that watching that was quite soothing and relaxing. On YouTube, people just like they go around with their camera, just videotaping people in the rain. It's actually soothing. So I was watching about 3 or 4 different videos of London rain. It's all over the country as well, Japan, China, just people videotaping, people just walking, no speaking, just people walking in the rain and the sun, the snow. It is quite soothing and relaxing. I mean, thank goodness really for me that I've got Alexa, the app, and I've also got YouTube, because YouTube is a lifeline to me, because it's just got so much advice on anything and everything, and you can follow people all over the world and see what they live like. I mean, I love amusement arcades. I love amusement machines, amusement arcades. So I love watching the Japanese arcades and the claw machines, and they even have vending machines that give burgers. You know, you could get your cheeseburger out of a vending machine in Japan, and they're noodle meals. Oh, it's just amazing. So I've been watching all kinds of things and like that, and I keep myself like interested in other countries. I like to learn. I like to keep my brain active. So let's do a puzzle, shall we? Alexa, puzzler.
Good morning. Welcome back to Puzzler. If you upgrade to Puzzler Premium, you gain access to a new set of premium crosswords every month.
You have rewards waiting. We're offering a 7-day free trial to our 9x9 crosswords. Do you want to take our special offer now?
No.
Would you like to hear more?
No.
Main menu. Would you like to play your daily crossword or hear the high scores?
Daily crossword.
On to your crossword of the day.
Crop of allergy spots. 4-letter word.
Alexa, rash.
You got it.
Cable, fixed string. First letter, R.
Alexa,
4-letter.
rope.
Cracking stuff.
Woodworker's smoothing tool. First letter, P. It
Alexa,
has 5.
plane.
The clue is woodworker's
Alexa.
smoothing tool.
Plane, plane.
Nice stuff. You're 50% complete.
Wager money. S blank A blank blank. It has 5 letters.
Alexa, steak.
That's incorrect.
Steak is not the answer. By the way, you can also spell out your answer like this.
Alexa,
P-U-Z-Z.
skip.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Sobbed, cried. Blank, E, blank, blank. There's 4 letters.
Alexa, wept.
Awesome.
100th of a dollar. Last letter. T.
Alexa, sent.
Bravo. Here's the final clue.
Wager money. S, blank, A, blank, E. 5 letters.
Alexa, clue.
Okay, here's a hint.
S, T, A, blank, E.
Alexa, steak. S-T-A-K-E.
Amazing. That's all the answers.
You did it in 2 minutes, 3 seconds. This was your 30-second fastest time for daily crosswords.
Main menu. Would you like to hear the high scores, open shop, or exit game?
High scores.
Would you like to hear the daily or premium high scores?
Daily.
You're currently 549th on the daily high scores, with a time of 1 minute, 4 seconds, 243 milliseconds. You are 0 seconds behind your nearest rival, Rapidly Dizzy Sea Dragon. Would you like to hear the daily high scores again?
No. Exit, please.
Main menu. Would you like to hear the high scores, open shop, or exit game?
Exit game.
Thanks for playing Puzzler.
Check out the highest rated voice games. Just say Open Yak Yak Games.
Right, guys. So I haven't done that for a while. That was interesting because I was behind sea squirts last time. Now we have a sea dragon. Alexa, LBC radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Every day on things like bread, eggs, milk, broccoli and chicken. Sign up and save more at your local co-op. Subject to availability in-store only £1 joining fee. See co-op.co.uk/member prices, co-op group food stores only.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Call 0345 6060 973.
Unsurprisingly, because of the severity that was used during the search, the strip search is getting a lot of calls. Fatima's in Hornchurch. Fatima, your reaction to that story. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Nick. Nick, anytime I hear the story, my blood boils and I'm very angry. As much as the police officers did what they had to do, I totally blame the school. The school should raise up their hands and say, we failed this child. Why would you call the police officer? Aren't there female teachers?
Because you don't
Wouldn't they
have
call
power
the
to
parents?
search the child.
Precisely, call the mom. A lot of the time, I'm a social worker working within children, and I've worked for many, many years. Anytime a child is misbehaving, the first thing the school will do, call social services. No, have you called the parents? No.
My understanding is that mum didn't turn up anyway, so it may be...
They don't always.
No, so it may be, I don't know, well, fortunately we don't know the child's identity, so I can effectively say what I like, but we don't know whether the mother is particularly engaged in the welfare of her child, so what do you do then if you think the child has cannabis? If mum doesn't turn up, or mum doesn't answer the phone, what do you do?
If a child has an attitude, you don't get a parent, you call whoever. There's always the second person to call.
Well, I do
There's
think a
always
female
some.
teacher should have been present, yes, but...
Precisely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this, in as much as the police officers, I'm sad that they're being dismissed. I know that
Well, they're not,
they have
sorry
bad
to
names.
talk over you, I'm very sorry. They faced dismissal, just to clarify that. Sorry to talk over you. Yeah.
Awesome. Whatever discipline they face, I think what the head teacher, whoever called the police, should also face disciplinary. Why would you do? We work with parents, schools, parents, health. We work together. Why do we always remove? And I think a lot of the time, I think schools have failed children. I've been working with them, and I get angry when I go to setting, professionals meeting or team working around a particular child.
Really grateful for the work that you do, Fatima. Will you excuse me having to say farewell because I have a senior politician on to address some questions, so I'm very grateful for your input. But let's come to a story that many is of equal importance, which is this plan put forward yesterday by Sir Keir Starmer with his colleague, the Shadow Home Secretary in The Hague, which, as we've been discussing, has thrown up as possibly as many questions as it might provide solutions. So I'm grateful that we can welcome Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper to the conversation now. Thank you very much for coming on. One question good morning to you, Yvette Cooper. Is there, the Prime Minister is suggesting this could mean 100,000 migrants could come to Britain under the Labour plan. Is there a limit? Is it capped? Yvette?
He's talking total garbage. Unfortunately, this is Rishi Sunak just making things up because his plan isn't working to tackle the Tory boats chaos.
Right.
We've still got the criminal gangs writ across the borders, along our borders, undermining our border security and putting lives at risk, and also the total chaos in the asylum system. So, yeah, the things he's saying had absolutely nothing to do with the plans we were setting out to yesterday. So, shall I set out what we were saying?
If you would say, is it capped?
Yeah. So we've always said that yes, the routes need to be capped, but what we set out yesterday is that we would have a new security partnership with Europol, with other European countries around tackling the gangs, and that would include hundreds of additional police officers and investigators as part of a new cross-border police unit that the UK would set up, and stronger powers in the UK. We were talking to Europol about how you go after the boats, the boats themselves, stop those boats and the supply chains, stop them getting to the French coast in the first place, and go after those gang networks, smash up those networks that are putting lives at risk. Second thing we've been talking about is a plan to save the taxpayer £2 billion by ending hotel use, by getting a proper returns unit in place that would have 1,000 staff to do enforcement and to deal with the fact that returns have collapsed by 70% under the Conservatives, speed up the system, sort it out so we don't have hotel use or even the costly barges as well, and can get back to a properly controlled and managed system. Those were the two things that we've been setting out over the last couple of days.
I will return to my question again a bit. Is there a cap for the number of people the United Kingdom would have to accept from the European bloc?
So we're not talking about this European quota scheme at all. We wouldn't be part of that. So that's what the Conservatives have made up. So
there'll be no exchange of individuals who might have arrived in Italy or Greece. There would be no, and we are talking about human beings here, but there would be no tit for tat across the channel.
So what we have always said, we've said for a long time, is that we should be seeking to negotiate a returns agreement to other European countries, and also as part of that to have, for example, the controlled and managed but safe routes for children who have family in the UK, who at the moment their only way of rejoining the family in the UK is by getting on a dangerous boat and putting themselves in the hands of these people smugglers and people traffickers. So we have proposed those things, and that should be part of a negotiation. That negotiation clearly can't start until we are in government, but it is not joining the EU member states asylum dispersal and quota scheme. That is for member states. The UK is not a member state, and we will not be a member state. We won't be part of that scheme.
You rightly reference the sickening amount of money that's currently spent. I believe it to be £6 million a day housing these individuals, which we all agree could be better spent. But you will, if you come into power, you will inherit a large number of people. If not hotels and barges or whatever, where are you going to put them come your success in next year's election if you're victorious?
So there are already over 50,000 long-standing asylum accommodation places across the UK. They've been in place for a long time. They're much, much cheaper. The average cost used to be around £14 per night, per person per night, when people were in that accommodation only. It's only since that we've got this chaotic increase in the backlog to 175,000, this record backlog, and that's what's meant we've now got people in these costly hotels because the long-standing accommodation is full. You've got this huge backlog, and then it's now costing on average £90 a night, but actually for the hotel use £150 per night. That is a shocking escalation of costs, and it also reflects as well these huge long delays that just don't help anybody.
But you can't stop that as of day one coming into power, can you?
So we think from getting this unit into place, we could clear the backlog within a year. We could end hotel use within a year. That's the assessment exactly that we've done, and that really would save us £2 billion. Imagine what you could spend that £2 billion on, Nick, if we weren't having taxpayers having to fund this incredibly chaotic, broken asylum system. We've got to get a grip, not just have all these gimmicks.
Okay. While I've had the benefit of the line, let's move you away from the work you were doing in The Hague yesterday. You won't need reminding, but I remind my listeners, you're the Labour MP for Normanton, Pontefract and Castleford. How do you react to the news that HS2 could the work could be terminated merely at Birmingham? Yvette Cooper.
Well, I think there's obviously been an awful lot of chaos around this. We don't even know what the government is saying or doing at the moment, but they seem to have ended up with something that started as a proposal to have proper connections from the centre of London to the centre of Manchester, and now seems to not actually be likely to reach either, and to be some just track in the middle. I mean, it's totally chaotic. I think what we've seen really is after 13 years of Conservative government, they don't seem to be able to manage anything. Everything just feels broken, whether that is the transport infrastructure, whether that is the asylum system, whether that is our precious NHS that all of us depend on. It just feels like everything is broken. I don't think they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And the trouble is that it's communities across the country that are paying the price, and, you know, so much for levelling up.
So you would seek to keep HS2? Under Labour.
Well, Labour's always called for the HS2 scheme. Labour's called for proper investment in our transport infrastructure and continue to do so. But you know, it's a real problem that instead what we're getting is it's just being thrown up in the air, and also billions of pounds extra being spent on them as well.
Last couple of questions. I think you'll probably be aware of the Child Q case. This is a 15-year-old girl. Okay, and you'll be aware then probably that 3 officers could face being dismissed. Surely that should face dismissal, shouldn't it? Yvette Cooper?
Well, you wouldn't expect me to comment on the details, obviously, of individual proceedings, but let's be really clear, it's awful. It's totally awful what happened to that child. It should never have happened. There's questions about the guidance not having been followed, but actually I don't think the guidance is right in the first place, that you could end up in this situation anyway. We've called for new guidance to be put in place to make sure there are safeguards, and also
can a child
to
ever
just
be
make sure you...
searched, Yvette?
There may be circumstances if you've got something which is a danger to a child, for example, or there's a concerns about a knife or dangerous weapons and things like that. But there still have to be safeguards, because this can be a very traumatic experience. There's real serious issues when you're talking about children. So you have to have safe guidance, safe procedures in place.
And lastly on this, December 2020 that's took place, Yvette Cooper. This is nearly 3 years to deal with a relatively, I would have thought, straightforward case. Yvette Cooper.
Yeah, you're totally right. We've got to have a system that is speeded up. I think we really actually need a whole overhaul of the whole misconduct and complaint system, including higher standards, to be honest, on vetting. There should be proper national standards on vetting that we don't have at the moment, unbelievably, and some proper systems so that, you know, for example, if an officer is being investigated for rape or domestic abuse, we think they should be automatically suspended. Again, that's not been brought into place either.
Lastly, bit of grown-up listening coming, everybody here. If I take you to the Commons yesterday, Penny Mordaunt of the Conservatives, when discussing Sir Keir Starmer's views on union demands on border patrol, we discover that, like Beach Ken, he has 0 balls. If Sir Keir has no balls, what's Rishi Sunak?
You can tempt me into all kinds of things in response.
Go on, I'll risk it. The mortgage is virtually paid, go for it.
It is just, it's totally ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I think it does show that they are not a serious government. They're not taking the country seriously, and there's so many areas where the country is really facing serious problems and crisis, cost of living crisis, and NHS, and what you got is that, you know...
I thought you were coming up with something, but always good speaking with you. Yvette Cooper, thank you. Shadow Home Secretary appearing here on LBC 2 minutes after 9. Let's get the news.
On your radio, on Global Player.